Hello everyone and welcome back to my powerlifting channel. It's been quite a while since I posted a full-length video on here, but I figured I would try to revive my channel. So my name is Kathrine. I'm a powerlifter. I live in Vienna, Austria, but I'm Danish, as you might see from the flag behind me. And I lift on the Danish national team in equipped 3 lift. And I thought that for this first video back, I would talk a little bit about my recent competition. I went to IPF Worlds on November 14th. I competed in the 69 kilogram weight class. I made a few notes just so that I remember some of my intended talking points. So I looked at my online profile to see how many competitions I've actually done in my life. So my first competition was in March of 2004 when I was a junior lifter. In that competition, I was in the old 67.5 kilogram class. I squatted 80 kilos equipped. I benched 40 kilos. That was raw. I didn't have a bench shirt yet. And then I deadlifted 115 kilos equipped. And I was a conventional lifter back then. And since then, I've done a total, as far as I could count, of 136 competitions. And out of those, 75 were 3 lift competitions, 1 raw and 74 equipped. And then the remaining competitions were either single lift bench or some team competitions. The ones we have in Denmark, you only do 1 lift and then 3 lifters make up a team. And then I've also done 2, I believe, pro deadlift competitions at the Arnold Sports Festival. So back to Worlds this year. So my training had been, I would say, fairly good. I felt really strong going into the competition. Squat is generally my weak point for a number of reasons. I can comment more on that in a later video. But squats, I would say, was actually the lift that had been going best during prep. So I had some hopes of setting a PR. I don't PR on squats every year. And yeah, as I mentioned, my first competition was in March of 2004. So I'm coming up on 22 years of competing quite soon. And I'm also 44 now, so I'm an M1 lifter. And progress has slowed, both due to how long I've trained and my age, I would assume. But I'm still making some progress and I'm really happy with that. And yeah, bench was also, I would say, fairly good in training. I was confident that I could lift, maybe not a new PR, but close to my current PR. Then my deadlifts, which is actually my strongest lift normally, training had been like really weird. I felt super strong, but my technique in the suit just didn't click, and that's really my strong point, is the suited deadlift. I get quite a bit out of the deadlift suit, way more than most, I would say. But yeah, I just crossed my fingers, adjusted my suit a little bit, sewed it in a little bit before the competition, and then just hoped for the best on the day. So I was nominated 8th due to a rather late dropout. So I was moved up to the A group and I got to lift with the strongest in the world in my weight class. I was really happy with that. That was such a fun experience. Last year I was in the B group, and the years before that we'd only had 1 group. So it was really fun. And I knew that I would probably be first out on squats and like first or second out on bench, and then like second to last or last on deadlift. So that was good. So I was supposed to open on 177.5 on squats, but I weighed in like about a kilogram lighter than what I would have liked. I weighed in only at 65.10 kilograms. So that was a bit under my training weight. And I would have to say, for me in equipped, I strongly prefer to compete and train at the same body weight. It really means so much for the suits. A few years ago, I did a short stint in the 63 kilogram class. I only had to drop 2 or 3 kilograms, which I would guess most raw lifters would just do with a water cut. But those few kilograms for me meant I had to alter all of my suits because it just meant so much for how the suit fit me. Anyway, so I could tell that unfortunately my squat suit was a bit looser than what it had been in training. I tried to put as much liquid and magnesium on as I could and so on, but I almost hit depth with my warm-up weight, last warm-up of 162.5. So we decided to lower my opener just to 175 because we figured I could hit depth with that. The reason for my initial choice was that I'd had trouble hitting depth with anything below 177/180 kilograms in training. Anyways, I got 3 whites on that. I was happy with that. But I'm always super nervous, so everything feels a bit more unstable and probably heavier than it looked. So I asked for a slightly smaller jump than what the coach would have liked. So my second was 182.5 kilograms, and I got 3 whites on that one as well. And then for my last attempt, I went 187.5 kilograms, which was a new PR by 2.5 kilograms. And I got 3 whites on that one as well. Yay! I was really happy with that. It had been like, I think my last PR was July of 2022 or something like that. And I think I've squatted 185 2 or 3 times, but I've never managed 187 or 190. So I was really happy with that. Then on bench, I was supposed to open 112.5. And I knew that the platform would be better than the warm-up. I lift way better, especially equipped on a softer pad. And in the warm-up, we had the hard Eleiko pads, and then on the platform, it was the newer one, which is softer. And in training, I generally use an ER, as you see, and that's fairly soft as well. But just to be sure, we lowered to 110, and that was again a little bit, I'd had trouble getting anything below 112 to the chest in training, but with the slightly lower body weight, we decided that 110 would be okay. So I got it 3 whites. It wasn't like, no doubt about it, but it didn't fly or anything like that. So we went 115 on my second, got that one as well. The coach said it looked the same as the 110. We'd made some small adjustments to the color and so on, but it felt super heavy. So instead of a tight PR of 120 that as the coach wanted, I asked for 117.5, and I got that. That was a max lift. It felt like, so I was really happy with that, even though it wasn't a new PR, but I was on track to make a total PR, because when I made my total PR, which was at Nationals in March of this year, I don't believe I PR'd any lifts. So if I could just match my PRs, or like now I even had a squat PR, then I would make a nice total PR as well. No, actually I PR'd my bench at Nationals, yeah, but that was the only thing. Then for deadlifts, yeah, the suit, even though I sewed it in, and I used the same one at Europeans, where I think my body weight was only like 0.5 kilogram higher, but I feel like I've done some body recomposition since then, like maybe a bit more muscle on my legs, so less fat in the hip area perhaps. And I think that was the issue. The suit was too loose, even with like as much magnesium as possible to keep it in place. But the strength felt good, so I opened, I believe it was 212.5, and that had me in second place after the first round. The heaviest opener was 225, but I had a lighter body weight, so we chose that for the second attempt. I made it, and like very briefly I was in first place, but then the Brazilian lifter made 232.5 for her second attempt. So that's obviously the weight we then chose for my final attempt. And that felt fairly all out, like maybe I could have gotten 235, but it felt really close to a max on the day. So yeah, that was first, unless she got her third attempt. She attempted a world record on her third, didn't get it. So I won the gold medal in deadlift on bodyweight. Yay. Yeah, 232.5 kilograms. That's 3 kilos under my PR. I set a new PR at Europeans this year. I did 235.5, which is a European Open and M1 record in the 69 kilogram class. So my total was 537.5. That was a 7.5 kilogram PR and 7th place. So one up from my nomination. So super happy with that. Yeah, what else? Yeah, so I really wanted to do well this competition, and I really feel like I did. Like, as I mentioned, this was my 75th 3-lift competition, and it was the first time ever I went 9 for 9, and then with 27 white lights. That was amazing. I didn't think I would ever do that. Maybe if I chose to compete raw again, highly unlikely, like a raw bench competition now and again, but raw 3-lift, not really my thing. So yeah, so obviously I wanted to do well for myself, but also our national team coach, he's been with us since, I believe, 2021. It was during COVID, I remember that. And I've been on his program since after Worlds in 2023, so 2 years now. And I've made really good progress, and we've managed to, like, I have osteoarthritis in both my knees, so it demands something of the programming. I can't just do a standard program, then my knees will swell and hurt in like within a week. So we really need to manage volume and so on, and then figure out, can we push something else and so on. So, but yeah, I've been on Bjarte's programming for 2 years now, and just this year, 2025, I looked it up. So that would be at age 43 to 44. I turned 44 in May. I PR'd my squat by 2.5 kilograms. I PR'd my bench press by 5 kilograms. And I PR'd my deadlift by 0.5 kilograms. But I PR'd my total by 10 kilograms just this year. And I feel like with over 20 years of experience and my age, that's just amazing. And yeah, I'll just miss my coach so much. But yeah, he taught me a lot as well. So for now, I'm giving my own programming a go, and we'll see where that brings me. My next competition will be Danish Nationals in March of 2026. And yeah, I'll probably post some training videos for that, and I have some ideas for some other talking videos in the meantime as well. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and yeah, welcome again to my channel, or welcome back if you're a long-time subscriber. And I hope that you want to watch some more videos from me. So if you feel like it, I would appreciate a like and maybe a comment. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, if you aren't already subscribed, that would be great as well. So yeah, I hope to see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching.